Okay, today I'm going to share the single Bates exercise that was responsible for my recovery of 20/20 vision all the way from 2400. It's the only exercise I ever used extensively, and there are a number of Bates exercises, and different exercises may work better for different people. This is the one that worked for me. I learned it from Paul Anderson, who learned it from the writings of William Bates. And this is the exercise. Bates said that if you could visualize something perfectly in your mind, at the same time you could see perfectly. And the reason for that was that the same openness and receptivity and mental poise that's required to visualize perfectly is the same openness and receptivity and poise that's required to see perfectly. In other words, the same lack of strain. And Paul explained that what this does is it takes your mind out of its chronic state of strain and puts it on a neutral object so that the processes of your brain that are responsible for vision can operate fluidly and effectively. And chances are, if your mind is in a state of chronic strain, you either don't even know it, or perhaps you don't know the depth of it until you have some practice at letting your mind spend some time in a neutral state where it's not straining and it can see what it's doing the rest of the time. And Paul suggested that to visualize, I use a neutral object, something with no emotional content, like a letter of the alphabet. And in the last video, I compared this exercise to meditation in that they both potentially can release mental strain. And in my experience, this exercise has the added benefit that it can restore your vision. So some of the potential benefits of this exercise, like potential benefits of meditation, are greater awareness of what goes on in your mind, and particularly at unconscious levels, better mental focus and control, more of a sense of presence in life, more of a sense of equanimity, and even states of flow and non-ordinary states. On the other side of things, meditation can also be challenging. It can bring up insecurities, anxieties, and challenging feeling states. And that can sometimes come up also with this exercise. But the general direction is that it takes you in the direction of a much better function of mind and vision. And the beautiful thing about this exercise, unlike many kinds of meditation, is that it doesn't require sequestering yourself off from the world, closing your eyes. You can do this exercise anytime, anywhere. You can do it walking down the street or even talking to people, and you may find that you're actually more present to what people say if you're not thinking about the next thing you're going to say while they're talking, which putting your mind in this neutral space can take you into that space where you're actually listening. Now, if you find meditation helpful, that's fine, because anything that reduces strain and feels good in your body is in the right direction. In my own experience, meditation, I didn't find it particularly helpful in recovering my eyesight. And I think for many people, spiritual practices can actually be a strain, and that can be because they're the opposite of what they really want to do, but they feel like they should do them in order to be a good person, or they feel like there's a defect in themselves that they need to fix by a spiritual practice. And in this practice, in this vision practice, I wouldn't look at anything about yourself as defective, including poor vision and including strain. Strain is not a defect. It's a completely normal and understandable response to life's challenges. And in my experience, it comes from our cultural conditioning and trauma and different challenges. And underneath that acquired strain, we function well and effortlessly. And all we're doing in this practice is releasing the strain that obscures our complete wholeness, which in this case would be a clearly functioning mind and sharp eyesight. Also, some people feel that a certain amount of suffering or deprivation is essential to any kind of progress, whether it's vision recovery or spiritual progress. And I would say life will offer enough of that, enough suffering without taking it on as a practice, or it's likely to. So I'd say go the other direction, go towards things that are nourishing and things that feel good in your body. And in fact, if this practice didn't feel nourishing, I'd encourage you just to sit down and say, what does feel like it feeds my life force, it feeds my happiness, it feeds my joy, and do that. Now, for this exercise to be efficacious, you need to take your glasses off. And that may be incredibly liberating for many people to just realize that maybe the only reason they wear glasses all the time is because a long time ago somebody told them they should, or somebody told them that they would strain their eyes or hurt their vision by putting glasses on and taking them off. In my experience, wearing your glasses all the time just keeps your eyes and your mind in the state of strain that's responsible for poor vision. It would be like injuring your leg and getting crutches and then walking on crutches for the rest of your life. If you feel that you need to or want to wear your glasses, there's no harm in that either. And so certainly for activities where there's a safety issue like driving, you should wear your glasses anytime there's safety at issue. And even any time that you want to, just for enjoyment. If you're going to a concert or a movie and it's more, and you'd enjoy it more to have your glasses on to see better, that's fine. You may also find just moving closer to the front and experiencing whatever it is without glasses may be fun and interesting too, and a way to begin exploring life without glasses. If taking your glasses off creates a strong sense of anxiety or insecurity, just be gentle with yourself around that. And you may just want to start in your home or some place that feels really safe, and then progressively take small steps and experiment in the wider world, perhaps. In my experience, poor vision seems to be related to chronically active fear and anxiety circuits in the brain, and what we're learning to do is gradually unwire those circuits. So there's no reason to unnecessarily reinforce anxiety. There's no reason to be heroically committed to not wearing your glasses ever. And William Bates noted that when he helped people recover sharp vision, they would lose lifelong phobias and anxieties. So there's a deeper healing that happens here beyond just your eyesight and your vision. So the attitude you want to take towards vision recovery, this exercise and anything else I suggest in future videos, is playful and fun and curious. Don't struggle to visualize perfectly. However well or poorly you visualize is just fine. Sharp vision is effortless, and you're learning to release effort, not to work hard at visualizing. So there's no right or wrong way to do this exercise, and don't worry about the results. Worry would be more strain. You need to do the exercise for its own sake, to just kind of play with it and experience what's happening as you do the exercise. Experience what happens in your in your mind, and you're in the physical mechanisms of your face muscles and your eyes, and just get curious about that and just enjoy it. So in summary, kindness to yourself is really key to this practice, and kindness is a universal pathway to releasing strain of all kinds, and will have benefits that go beyond regaining sharp eyesight. So in the next video, I'll tell the story of how this single Bates exercise led to my next big breakthroughs in my own vision recovery. And I look forward to talking with you then.